one. Hey, this is Mark Brody on the next episode of Coffee Talk with Brohawk. And I am very humbled and pleased to have today's guest with us. His name is Leo Prada, and people out there that are watching this video may know him from his hashtag Meet Leo's Contacts, and that's how Leo and I actually got to meet up as well. But Leo, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule. And I just love for you to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, what you're up to these days.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's for me, it's really exciting to talk to you. I've seen some of the previous episodes, and I really like what you're doing with the people from the contact center industry, which is something that I'm somehow related to in the past. Currently, I'm working as a project manager in the software industry, and like you said, I'm leading this Meet Leo's Contacts project. It started like an idea. Before I went to bed, I said, "How can I help people network that it's fun?" And I said, "Oh, this would be great. People can introduce themselves in a short video. They record the video, I post it and talk about what they do." At the beginning, I went to people who I knew are comfortable doing video and are already doing it on LinkedIn. So I figured probably they will go for it. And then after that, right now I'm doing kind of a convincing work. And because there are some people I would love for them to do a short video and introduce themselves to my network. But some of them are reluctant. Some of them say, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. Some of them don't have time. So, yeah.
Hey, it's a work in progress. And I mean, that's something that, definitely the last couple of years of pandemic, has definitely taught us is you always got to be evolving. For sure.
Yes.
Now, Leo, you're based in Buenos Aires.
Yes, that's correct. I'm in Argentina.
Excellent.
For the past 6-7 years, I've been working for companies either based in the States or related to companies in the state. In the States, like I said, I worked 15 years in a construction company. I was working an administrative job in the engineering office. And when I left that company, that's when I made my change and I came into the IT world. And somehow when I look at it, it's like when you connect the dots, like the guy from Apple said, what's his name?
Steve owner. Jobs.
Yeah, him. Yeah. When you look backwards and you connect the dots, it all makes sense. But at that point, I was working in a job where I thought I'd retire, and then I was laid off, and I said, "Well, what do we do now?"
It's too early to retire.
Yeah, I don't have the money. My 401k is empty.
Yeah.
So I heard about this programming course, and my wife was very supportive. She knows I like doing that, so I took that course, and one thing led to the other. And then one of the big jobs I had in IT was for a company who was building IVRs for one of the biggest for Avaya, actually. So yeah, and that's how I got to it. I didn't know much about the telecommunication world other than I had been in a contact center agent for 4,544 calls, which was 1 year.
But and other than that, every single one of them.
Yes. And I suffered most of them.
Oh my gosh.
I was working in tech support, so nobody called to say, hey, your service is nice. Most of them were really angry and confused and back in the day, access to the internet was dial up, so it was a stressful job to say the least. So that was my interaction with the contact center life. and then I got this job with the company building IVRs. I first started as a doing QA. So my boss, the owner, it's a small company. It's about 10 people. So
Yeah.
he said to me, "This is basically like a website. So you've been testing websites, but instead of visiting the website, you're gonna be calling over the phone." So,
Okay.
but it
Yeah.
was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, designing IVRs, I mean, there's an art to that.
Hmm.
And if that's something that people do well, I mean, that's one heck of a career right there.
Yeah, and it
Um,
shows.
yeah.
The some of the good solution architects in the IVR world
Yeah.
are really on demand, and you ask for one of them and they say, "I have like 5 months ahead, full
Yeah.
schedule, can't talk to you." uh,
Yeah.
and then when you get to the not so well built IVRs, like press 0 to finish the call, or to
Hmm.
finish the call, hang up, I don't know, stuff which you already know, then you
Yeah.
realize, yeah, and you see the good and bad
Well,
architecture.
and as a consumer, I mean, when we're calling up a company and we're trying to figure out, well, do I press 1, 2, 3, 8? What do I press? How do I know that I'm actually going to get routed to the right person at the right
Hmm.
time and whatnot? And on the back end, for a call center agent, if I have calls that are coming into me that shouldn't be coming into me, that usually tells me that with an IVR that something wasn't designed properly, or the calls aren't routing the way they should.
Yeah, about
Um,
a month ago, I had an issue with my credit card.
uh-huh.
So first I called the bank and they said, "No, call the credit card." Okay, I called the credit card. I go through the menus, endless menus, and they have a lot of wording. And I pushed the option which I thought was the one I needed. And then when I get to
Uh-huh.
the agent and you go through the, credit card, security, confirmation, your name, all this and that. Oh no,
Yeah.
this is not, you're not supposed to be talking to us. You have to, I'll transfer you. And I say, "Oh no, oh, not again."
Oh no.
Yeah, so we all suffered, and I know when I spoke with people when I was working in that company, yeah, we
Uh-huh.
build IVRs. Oh, you do? It's like, I hate
Yeah.
IVRs.
Yeah, I spent some time in the debt collection industry
Oh,
back
okay.
years ago. And you know, you tell people, hey, or someone asks you, what did you do? What do you do? And oh, I'm a bill collector. They're like, oh, yeah.
Okay, I
And,
don't know if I
and
want to be friends
yeah,
with you anymore.
yeah, dead silence. And especially if you're out, socializing and just kind of chit-chatting with random people, you tell them that and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over here now.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I work at the cemetery. I don't know.
Exactly.
They don't know what else to say. They just go.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
but
awesome, Leo.
it's
you know
been
one of
interesting. Yeah.
one of the things that I love that you're doing out here, and obviously we mentioned that we met on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
One of the things um, that I'm interested in is your feelings on networking and being out there, putting yourself out there really. What are some of your top recommendations for those people that like you've spoken with, or just in general, that may say, I know I need to put myself out there. I just don't know where to start, or I'm not comfortable with something. What's your
Yeah.
recommendations?
You know what? I have imposter syndrome. You know what that is,
Uh,
when you think your people are going to find out that you're fake, or
yeah.
that you have no idea. And once I was talking to this guy that I admire, Steve Forkum from Avaya.
Okay.
He's really good. He speaks in I don't know, like, big conference stages, and you see him and you think, he has all the confidence in the world. And we were talking like,
Yeah.
one on one, and he said, "You know what? I feel the same way. So don't worry about it. We all
Mm.
feel that way."
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I thought, if I put out a video, people are going to think how stupid this is, or what do you know about it, or I don't know, all the things that you go
Yes.
through in the list of negative things that you go through in your head before doing something this way.
Yes.
And I realized that most of the comments were okay. People who were commenting like negative things are, I don't know, 0.1%. You just have to ignore those, because that's going to exist in every field. In whenever you come out to the public and say something, then there's
Yes.
always someone who is going to, especially in this day and age. I think that my theory is people have too much spare time, because when people were working in the fields, I don't know, in the 1800s, they didn't have time to comment and criticize what, oh, look what the other one is doing. They just went to bed, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't want to live in that era, but what I
Yeah.
say is, you know, people have, they are going and they are bound to say something about what you do. But
Hmm.
what I have learned from this, in LinkedIn, I have been since 2008, so it's been a
Yep.
while.
Hmm.
But at the beginning, it was, you know, like a resume, nothing more than Indeed or one of those job posting
Yeah.
offers. And then it started changing. And by the time I got to the company that I mentioned, building the IVRs, I I started connecting with people from the contact center industry
Hmm.
at that point, and I started posting about what we do. And do you know what an IVR is? I know you hate IVRs.
Yeah.
We are trying to make them good and so and relate to people. And then I said I will try with video, because I feel
Mhm.
comfortable about talking,
Yeah.
and I think that's the best way. I hate my arms and pauses, and when I change direction of the what I want to say. My daughter, who is 16, and she's a singer, and she has like a TikTok channel and so on, and she tells me, write a script. I said, no, I don't want to write a script, because otherwise I'm going to sound like a robot. I had a script on the call center, and I know how it sounded.
Yes.
And thank you for calling technical
Yeah.
support.
Very robotic, no matter how much inflection and everything you wanted to have
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
I, and back at that time, I know when I worked an 11-hour shift, which is quite
Oh my gosh.
unusual. But so at the 11th hour, you know, I would sometimes I had to amuse myself, my poor customers. But so I
Mhm.
would say something like, "Thank you for calling, technical support." And then there was this guy who said, "Are you a machine?" No. But yeah, you know, you have to figure out a way to survive 11 hours. So I'm sorry about some of the customers.
Yeah, it's one of those jobs that, and especially on the technical support side,
Hmm.
I mean, it's so repetitive. You'd like to think that every call is going to be exactly the same, that you could just tell somebody to just, hey, reboot, and that's going to solve the problem, but it doesn't always do that. And then
Yes.
when you do when you do have those calls, you tell somebody, yeah, just go ahead and reboot, and it actually works. They're like, that's all I had to do, you know. Uh,
Yeah, that's why I find some of these solutions. You know, we spoke privately before about Zappix, uh, the visual, the IVAs, is it called?
yeah, the
That's
visual
that.
IVR. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I find that type of solution really interesting, because if at the time when I was working at the call center, we would
Yep.
have this sort of solution, then the people, like, we had a lot of truck drivers who were calling in just to ask for the local dial-up number so that they can connect, because they're moving throughout the states.
Mhm.
That kind of questions could be solved by click, 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 and you're gone off the queue. So
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a great use case for a visual IVR solution.
yeah.
Like you said, um, and I think that you from a networking standpoint, one of the things that I really love that you just said is you reached out to ask questions about how to make things better.
Hmm.
Um, you weren't trying to, sell them something. You weren't trying to ask them to do anything except provide their expert feedback on what their experience is like. And I think from a customer experience standpoint, that's a great place to start,
Mhm.
you know.
And going back to what I didn't answer from your question about starting, I think the thing that you have to do is just start.
Yeah,
Uh,
just do it.
and probably you write a post and you see how it goes, and then maybe you add a picture or you do a video if you're comfortable with video, and
Mhm.
you get better with time, and you get better with iterations, and you find your rhythm somehow. Uh, I think
Yeah,
that the best advice I can give people is just do it. There aren't going to be as many haters as you think, because
very true.
that I think that's what we think the most is, oh, people are going to hate it and they're going to hate me probably,
Yes.
and that's usually not the case.
I, I mean, just like any social network, I mean, you just have to have confidence in yourself, and sometimes it's hard, um, because there are going to be, like you said, a very small percentage of people are going to be those haters,
Hmm.
and it's like, what relevance do you have to my life right now?
Right.
I totally see that, but if it's constructive feedback,
Yes, yes,
that's
that's
always
always
welcome.
welcome, of
Yeah.
course.
Um,
For instance, what I like to do personally, and I like when it happens to me as well, is I
mhm.
don't know. I see someone posted something important, like
Yeah,
my new job, and they have a typo. I
yeah,
just write to them in private and say you have a typo,
yeah.
because it's like having the parsley leaf on your teeth. You don't see it, everyone see it, and I like it when people. Just today, I had someone. She reached out and she
Yeah.
told me, in your website there are some things I don't understand how you wrote them. Maybe you can
Mhm.
say it like this. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And then I read it out loud, and I know
Yeah,
what I thought, but I see it doesn't make any sense, so I changed it. And she
that's
wrote to me
awesome.
privately. Yeah.
You always have a higher level of respect for people that are willing to give you that constructive feedback, not in a public forum that can sometimes be construed as bashing.
Hmm.
I mean, that's great that you had that experience, and I think that that's something that's definitely important, whenever you're in any type of networking or social channels, to get that feedback. Now, a lot of folks will post out in like LinkedIn or do videos and whatnot, as part of like a sales or business development, type of process.
Hmm.
But you're a project manager in the SaaS world, in software as a service world. Um, how can project managers uh, really get a lot of value from networking through LinkedIn, and posting different things out. Where do you see it being a value add for project folks?
Yeah, I had this conversation with with the boss.
Uh-huh.
His LinkedIn, he was the CEO, and
Uh-huh.
his link was like, I don't know, 200 people, 500 people. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
really small number. And I said, "What's up with that?" No, I only connect with people who I know personally and who I have worked with. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "You're limiting your world really much, because, for instance, right now I'm looking for a job,
Okay.
and I have a lot of connections which I built throughout the years,
Mm-hmm.
and with some of them I'm in contact and so on, and some of them have asked me how's it going, and they say, oh, look at this job and so on. But also I got contact from people who I have never spoken with, and they
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I heard that you're looking for a job, look at this ad. You see, and that's the power of
Yes.
connecting. And it also goes for regarding sales, because maybe you are not going to buy anything that my company sells, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're constantly hearing me talking about whatever I do,
Yeah.
then when someone says, oh, I need someone in that arena, then you're going to say, oh, I know one, Leo. And that's
Yes.
the power of it. Yeah, it's not your
Yeah.
first degree connections per se, but how you extend your network with them. Yeah.
and you stay positive with everybody, or as positive as people can be. I've seen a lot of like really negative stuff out there from time to time, and um, but the people that seem to have a really strong following are those that are out there, I think, for the right reasons, putting content out there that's meaningful. Like you said, maybe not to a specific intended audience, their first degree connections, but maybe to those second or third degree connections, people that
Hmm.
are going to share it.
Yeah,
Or hey, we don't know who each other knows and doesn't know. And so, like you said, I love the thought of, hey, you may find a product or a service that you may not necessarily be interested in, but somebody that may need that
correct.
product or service. So
Yeah,
I love that.
the opposite mindset is like, I don't know, those guys who were selling encyclopedias door to door, and they only sold to their relatives, and that's it. I
Yep.
don't know anyone else. So
Yep.
what now? I mean, but you don't have to look at it in a transactional way. At least I don't, and I've seen that it's the best way. I post, but some people tell me I post stuff which is maybe not for LinkedIn. The LinkedIn police, they will come and say, "Ah, this is for Facebook." I don't know, or
Yeah.
sometimes I post about, I don't know, being depressed or something
Uh-huh.
because I can't find a job, and they said, "No, this is not good for you. You're looking bad." I said, "I don't know. I'm human. I
You're being authentic, you
yeah."
know? um and that's the thing. I mean, Leo, I mean, the passion that you demonstrated in the Meet Leo's Contacts project. I mean, putting yourself out there and helping others to put themselves out there. I mean, when you think of it as less of a hashtag or a website and more of a project that you're managing, um, it's been very successful up to this point,
Mhm.
and I know it's going to continue to be successful for you in the future as well. And we're going to get to how people can get directly in contact with you here in a moment, but we've
Mhm.
gotten to the point of our conversation where I call it the speed round.
There you
And
go.
um, so what fun fact about Leo would people be surprised to learn about you?
There's something that people get surprised a lot with me, and that
Uh-huh.
is that I speak Croatian. Uh,
Really?
People who know me already, they know this because I speak
Uh-huh.
about it. And my wife is Croatian, my son is Croatian. But sometimes it happens to me. I contact for the first time someone from Croatia,
Uh-huh.
and I write to them in Croatian, and they see Leo Prada, Croatia. Oh, he must be using Google.
Yeah. And
So
and
yeah.
and, and in the technical world, I mean, that's a huge value add right there. I mean, there's a lot of programmers, a lot of technical
Mhm.
folks that are located in Croatia
Yes,
as
yes.
well. So a huge value add
So
right
it,
there.
it has proven. Yeah. Right now, like I said, I'm looking for a job, and I have
Yep.
had some interviews in Croatian. So it has been
Nice.
useful for me, and I found my wife because I speak Croatian. So I can't
Excellent.
complain about it. It's really
So
good.
so so you must have used the proper dialect in order to land the wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So what is your ideal off the grid location?
There is one place where I visited this place probably 6 times in a row, and that would
Uh-huh.
be Maine. I met someone on the internet when the internet was something else in '96,
Yes.
and then I said, we were chatting on the IRC,
Uh-huh.
the old chat rooms, and I said, "Do you have an extra bed?" And she said, "Yeah." "Okay, tomorrow I'm going to your house." She said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And next
Yeah.
day I was there, and we
Nice.
became really good friends, and I visited my summer, winter in Maine. So a lot of snow. That would be,
Excellent.
yeah, that's one of the places in the world I would say that's my quiet place. Yeah.
Maine in the summer is absolutely amazing.
Never been there.
Oh my God.
It's always winter
It's
for me.
yeah. Well, yeah, winter for you, but summer up in Maine. Oh my gosh.
That would be good. Mm,
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing. Um, so if someone wants to learn more about the type of technical project manager that you are, the work that you're interested in, the work that you want to do, or even if they have a position available that they feel may be a good fit for you, or they just want to talk to you about it, how should they
Mhm.
best contact you?
I would say LinkedIn.
Yeah.
At the turn of the year, I decided I had too many things going on, and I decided
Yes.
to declutter my mind. So
Yes.
in Twitter, I have no tweets. In LinkedIn, I have like 5 people. In LinkedIn, in Facebook, sorry.
Uh,
In Instagram, I have 3, and that's it.
uh-huh.
And the rest I communicate on the phone. But on LinkedIn, I'm really active, so they can look me up.
Excellent. Excellent. You know, Leo, when the video when this coffee talk episode gets posted, I'm definitely going to be tagging you on it, so it'll be easy for people
Yeah,
to find you for sure.
thank you.
This has been a great conversation. I really enjoyed this, and
Me too.
you know, again, if you're in project management, you're looking for a really motivated and positive project manager, reach out to Leo. He'll do you right. So
Thank you
thank
so
you
much
very
for
much.
having me, and
Yeah.
it has been an awesome experience for me. So thank you, Mark.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, and we will be talking with you again really soon, Leo.
Awesome.